Government has paid its respects to former apartheid President FW de Klerk. A state memorial was held for him in Cape Town a short while ago. President Cyril Ramaphosa delivered the eulogy and said it was better to forgive than to hate. Lindsay Dentlinger joins us now from Cape Town. Lindsay, I believe you do have a guest.
Good afternoon, Anli. Yes, that state memorial service has just been concluded. One of those who were in attendance to pay tribute to FW de Klerk is the DA's Helen Zille. Helen, thank you for waiting with us. I'll get straight into it. A contested legacy, as the President says, has FW de Klerk. Why do you think it was important today to commemorate him with this kind of service?
Well, I think that if you look at him in the context of his time, FW de Klerk will go down as one of South Africa's great leaders. He recognized a historical moment. He seized it, and he was one of those very rare leaders who could tell truth to his support base that they didn't want to hear and lead them in a direction that they didn't want to go, and despite that, get them to follow him. And in doing so, we went into negotiations that led to a constitutional democracy instead of a civil war. That is the reality and the truth of the time. And for that alone, FW de Klerk must be celebrated. It is often said that he was the last apartheid president. It is true that he was the last president to preside over the tragic era of apartheid. But we must also understand that it was FW de Klerk that dismantled the legal underpinning of apartheid. He eradicated apartheid's laws one by one. Of course, its legacy remained, and it still does today. But getting rid of that legal underpinning was an enormous contribution that is often not recognized today.
Helen, you speak of that legacy that still exists on the periphery of this church today, those people who still suffer greatly for what apartheid caused to them and to their families, feeling that FW de Klerk didn't go far enough in bringing them that closure that they needed. What steps do you think can be taken now with his passing to bring justice to those families who are still very disgruntled by the legacy of apartheid?
Well, I think you better ask that to President Cyril Ramaphosa, because in fact unemployment has got much worse, suffering has got much worse, marginalization, lack of service delivery, failed governments. President Ramaphosa was here. I hope you asked him that question.
In terms of moving forward, the Helen Zille, for example, saying that today's service and using this as a venue should serve as a dialogue, that the country needs a dialogue to help with restorative justice. Do you feel that's necessary?
Well, of course we need a dialogue, but we can start off with having good government. You don't get restoration of anything, let alone people's basic dignities and rights, unless you have competent, capable government. And that is where it starts.
Thank you very much. Helen Zille, DA Federal Chairperson, Anli, one of those who were in attendance here today. Several DA leaders, past and present. We also saw John Steenhuisen and Tony Leon among those who were here to attend this state memorial service for South Africa's last apartheid president, FW de Klerk.